pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, and you?
I'm doing well. I'd like to start off with your first inherency point, where you tag that as the United States is obligated by treaty not to export e-waste to developing countries.
I actually read the treaty itself, the actual impact of
the OECD, right?
Yes.
Okay, and now the OECD, it bans the export of quote-unquote hazardous waste, correct?
Yes, it does.
And how does it define hazardous waste?
No, I'm not sure the exact definition of hazardous waste.
So I want to
mean something that's actually hazardous to.
Right. I want to be very clear though. It bans the export of hazardous waste. It doesn't say it bans e-waste. It says hazardous waste, and then e-waste you say falls underneath hazardous waste.
I believe it's actually e-waste itself.
Do you have any specific piece to say that?
Hazardous waste is what is adequate disposal facilities in other countries.
Okay, so hazardous waste again. That keyword, hazardous waste.
The meaning of hazardous waste is basically something that harms someone. It
okay.
includes
Wonderful, but
well.
it mandates countries to say you can't export your hazardous waste. I just want to be very clear in the wording there. It's incredibly important.
Okay, waste that that is hazardous to people, you cannot export to others.
That's wonderful. All right, and could we have that piece of evidence back?
Absolutely.
Which one is
the
it?
OECD itself.
There's
two of them.
Okay.
And then this is holding the treatment.
Okay, all right, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Now let's go ahead and move on to your second inherency point, where you said that companies are decreasing the amount of toxic materials within e-waste, correct? That was your second inherency point, I believe?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and how much are they decreasing it by?
They're actually reducing or eliminating toxic materials in the process.
Did it say that e-waste is now safe? Did that piece of evidence ever say that?
It didn't specifically mention that. They're making a proactive.
Did it ever say that it was more safe than it ever was?
Well, if you eliminated toxic material, it's more safe than it was.
Okay, really? Did the evidence ever state that?
It stated that they're reducing or eliminating toxic materials.
Okay, all right.
And if you look at it logically, if you eliminated toxic materials, obviously safe.
Well, we'll be contesting that, but let's go ahead and move to your first harm, where you said that if they accept it, it's okay. It's just. If people accept the e-waste, then there's no violation of justice.
Basically, justice is whether or not someone accepts something, or whether it is,
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Now, can I go ahead and question you on that? Did our definition of justice, which went unrefuted in the last speech, ever mention anything about consent?
No, it doesn't. But obviously, if you look at the definition of justice as fair treatment, however, you also look at that as someone accepts something and it's helping them and they actively want it, you're no longer hurting their justice, rather you're hurting it because
what if they think it's benefiting them and then we don't tell them that it's actually going to give them cancer? Is that just?
You have several presuppositions under this. First
all right,
of all,
but could you just answer the question? Supposing that was true, would it be just?
If it was just, if they accepted upon themselves, if they accept the harms that along with it.
But if they weren't informed of the harms?
If they weren't informed of the harms and were blatantly giving it to them and they have no idea, I'm sure you can make that contention.
All right, we will be. Thank you.
Yes, please. If you could have, if we could have it in 30 seconds.